This is Andi Purewal, Boxing Social in association with Betfred, joined by Tommy Fury here at what should be a Tyson Fury-Whyte press conference. Instead, it's just a Tyson Fury press conference. But Tommy, before we come on to that, earlier on, your father and a certain former world champion, Frampton, had exchanged some words over Cole's pick of Jake Paul to beat you. I was trying to get your thoughts on seeing, obviously, John and Carl having some exchanges.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the middle of doing an interview, so I was like, oh, it's going off. But no, I thought my dad was 100% right in that. Thanks very much for him to speaking up, because, for Carl to say that is very, it's very, I don't know, it just don't sit right. Even if I couldn't fight at all and I was useless, you still pick me anyway, wouldn't you? Because you get behind your fellow countrymen. And that's just something we believe in and something we do. And the fact that he thinks Jake Paul can beat me anyway, a former world champion, it proves that he knows very little about the sport, if that's the case.
Tommy, I'm interested to know, what are your thoughts on when people in the sport had picked Jake to beat you? What went through your mind?
Nothing, because everybody's got their opinion, and there's a lot of jealousy in boxing. And for me to have got that fight, I think there was a few jealous members, circulating. Not mentioning no names, but it is what it is. I heard a few opinions that went Jake Paul's way when I didn't think they would. But again, jealousy is a big part to play. But I don't really care what anybody thinks, because I know what I can go in there and do. Not just Jake Paul, against anybody. I'm not sure it's going to be the last time someone doesn't pick me to win a fight. But I don't care what they think about me, because I'm going to go in that ring and prove it. And they're going to look very, very stupid when it does happen, won't they?
I mean, Tommy, on that fight, I know you've said previously that you didn't really want to talk on it anymore, but I'm sure until it potentially happens, it will be a name continuing to be linked to yourself. Yeah. Is there any chance that you think we see that fight this year?
Yeah, I believe if it's going to happen any time, it's going to be the back end of this year. I mean, Jake Paul's not stupid. He's not a stupid man, and it proves that everybody's not tuning in to see Jake Paul, or else he would have done a bit better pay-per-view numbers than he did last time. So he needs a dance partner, he knows who that dance partner is. Tyson's just done 100,000 at Wembley, sellout. So he's not stupid, is he? If you know what I'm trying to say. But I'm not going to speak too much on it. He knows where I am. I'm looking to fight on the undercard, get a good win, and that's it. Whether it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not interested, because I'm interested in being a world champion. And Jake Paul doesn't hold any belts. He doesn't hold anything in the real boxing world. So if it comes, that fight comes, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not interested.
Final one, Tommy, just on him. What did you make of his fight with Tyron Woodley, the rematch, which was obviously meant to be yourself in there with him on that night?
Well, if it was myself in there on that night, it wouldn't have gone past the round, because the man come out, didn't throw a punch for the first 6 rounds, threw one punch that looked very choreographed, let's put it that way, and yeah, gets him out of there. I mean, it was what it was. I mean, it was a ball fest. When the commentators are saying, oh, we're joking between themselves, I wonder who won that fight. Oh, well, no one threw a punch, so I don't know. When you're having jokes like that while on air, you're in a pretty bad fight. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's his fight to think about. If it was me in there, like I said, the fight wouldn't have gone that long. Definitely not, because what do I do against somebody who just doesn't throw a punch? And I got him out there in the first round, judging on that performance.
Tom, I've heard you mention you want to stay active this year now. It's a big year for yourself on the back of last. How important is it that it's not just a matter of staying active, but it's continuing to push yourself into tougher fights and to progress up the ladder?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're going to see that this year, 100%. We're already talking, about having those fights this year with Frank and my dad and my team. You're going to see the best of Tommy Fury this year. You're going to see a hell of a lot of improvements, because a lot of improvements have been made. And that's it. I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to get in the ring and show you through my performances.
I'm interested now. I've seen, I don't know whether you've moved up there permanently, but obviously up in Morecambe with Tyson, with your dad. How much better do you feel that has helped? How much more rather has that helped you? How much do you think it's helped you to kind of develop your skill set, training full time with Tyson, with your dad, and having them kind of keep you locked into camp mode, as it were?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, training alongside the best heavyweight in the world, Tyson, it's going to do you nothing but good. And I truly feel like, having trained alongside him for quite a while, and I'm all through that Jake Paul build up, all through now. I genuinely feel like I'm a different fighter, mentally, physically, tactically, everything. I feel like I'm gaining a lot of experience just being there. So, it's another thing that you're going to see in the next fight.
Now, Tommy, obviously, as I said earlier, it was meant to be a Fury-Whyte press conference. It ended up just being a Tyson press conference. What did you make of Dillian not showing today?
I mean, I've said this, all day. It doesn't really matter if he shows up, or he doesn't show up through this whole promotion, because out of the 100,000 fans that are coming to the fight on the 23rd, they're all coming to see Tyson. No one's coming to see Dillian Whyte. It's a Tyson Fury show. That name there, what you see on the bill, Fury, that's what sold 100,000 tickets, not White. So I don't think it really matters if he's here or not. Whyte's just a mandatory in the other corner, ready to take a beating, take his money, and go home. It's the Tyson Fury show.
I just want to say, Tommy, if you saw me smirking there, Joe Parker just came up behind you, started pulling faces, so I wasn't laughing at what you were saying. Tommy, just obviously with this fight itself, what do you think it is that Dillian's trying to achieve from staying silent, from not turning up today? Is it still a matter of he's unhappy with the purses, as we've heard, or is he trying to play some kind of counter mind games with your brother?
I don't know. I mean, there's no way that he can be unhappy with the purse, because it's the most amount of money he's ever going to see his entire life. After his fight, he's never going to get a purse like that before, and he's very lucky to be getting what he's getting. So I can't see that being a reason. I think if it's mind games, it's very stupid to be playing mind games with the best mind game player on the planet in Tyson. Tyson's mind's bulletproof. So, I don't really get what his game is so far, but we're not thinking about that. Dillian Whyte's going to prepare however he wants to prepare. He's going to do whatever makes him feel more comfortable in his head. But when it all comes down to it, on fight night, it's going to be the same result, regardless of what he does.
You mentioned it's going to be the same result. Again, speaking to Joe earlier, he said he's confident that Tyson stops Dillian within 6. Do you echo those same opinions?
Yeah, 100%, if not earlier. I believe Tyson ends this fight whenever he wants to end the fight. This is Tyson's night, and he's going to make this fight go whichever way he wants.
Right, Tommy, I appreciate your time now. I just want to leave one final question. Obviously, we're seeing the current situation between the Ukraine and Russia. Obviously, thoughts and sympathies going out to everyone involved in the Ukraine. But on the boxing front, we've seen Vasyl Lomachenko, Alexander Usyk, Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko both sign up to protect their country. What's been your thoughts from afar watching?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic in what they're doing, staying and fighting for the country. Massive respect goes out to every single one of them guys. My thoughts and prayers are with everyone involved at this moment in time.
Tommy, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, Tommy.